Shanti Shanti.
Now he is saying Avihi Sannihitam. It's very close. Actually it is not very close. It is the very identity of us. Guhacharam Nama. It is as if moving around in the deep cavern of our heart. That is, we always feel that the I is in us moving in our heart. Avihi sannihitam guhacharam nama mahat padam atra etat samarpitam. Mahat padam atra etat samarpitam. That brilliance which is in our heart, which is always active in our heart, which is revealing everything, the external world as well as the internal world. Always, whenever you are thinking of revelation, you should think of the external as well as the internal, because our limitation, it makes us immediately think that the external things we are seeing. It's not so. Whatever happening inside also, the emotions, the intelligential function, the thoughts, they are also revealed. And truly speaking, it is just one revelation. Even the external is revealed when the appearance is inside. Truly, we are not going outside at all. The whole revelation, the whole universe of revelation, if you say, it is some are appearing like external to our body and some are appearing to the internal of our body. But the fact is that body itself is a revelation there. The body also is an appearance in the consciousness which is generating an internal sphere and external sphere. By external we mean out of the body. But the whole body is appearing in the consciousness. So truly speaking, there is no such division internal, external. It is all, the whole phenomena is happening in the consciousness. That you should remember. Then your mind will immediately expand from the gross material clinging. That is why we said the other day that Upanishadic practice will liberate your mind, will make your mind expand, and it will not make you selfish or self-centered, constricted. If you practice only meditation, try to have self-realization, it is a desire for self-realization which is bogging down. Earlier you were having worldly desires, now that worldly desire is replaced by desire for self-realization. So you will not become liberal, you will only be interested in your own spiritual realization or something. You will remain constricted and the realization will be prevented by that constriction. So you have to replenish your meditative sadhana with the Upanishadic sadhana, knowledge sadhana, which will expand your mind and automatically take you to that infinitude. So he says that which is moving around and revealing everything in our heart, in our own identity, Mahatpadam atra etat samarpitam. There the huge supreme Mahat, that this supreme which is greater than anything, which is encompassing everything, that itself is samarpitam. It is surrendered to your own identity. We cannot think of it even. We think ourselves to be so small, because by ourselves we think the individuality which is limited by our body, mind, personality. Some people say that will not spirituality make us more ahankari, more egoistic, because I am the greatest, I am thinking. No, it is not that I. That I is the universal I. Your I is not different from your enemy's I. So when you think that I am more powerful than the enemy, it is not that I you are talking about. You are talking about the small I. So it can never make you ahankari, never make you egoistic at all. It dissolves all ego, all ahankara, because it dissolves all limitation, all constriction, all forms, everything. So the whole universe, which is the supreme, it is surrendered in that I, which is moving around in the cavern of your heart. Ejat, pranat, nimishatcha, all kinds of animals, that is moving. Pranat means living. Nimishat means those who are winking. There are animals who do not wink also. I think fish, perhaps. Some fishes, their eyes always remain open. So, winking, all kinds of animals. Not only that, sat, asat, See, Sat and Asat also. What is that? It can be interpreted in two ways. Sat means Thula, the gross things, and Asat means the subtle things, which is not directly in front of your, which is not pratyaksha, not before your sense organs. Because we think whatever is in front of our senses, that is existing. So that is the Sat, and whatever internal in your mind, that is Asat. That is one way. Another is to think that whatever we think to be the existence before us, that we call Sat. That as well as whatever is Asat, which does not exist. What does not exist? It is also in opposing to existence. You have some concept of not existing, that also. Even the concept of Shunya, which is opposite to the concept of existence, that Shunya also is an expression, is an appearance in your consciousness. Varenyam, that is the supreme honorable goal you have. Param Vijnanad Yadvarishtham. It is even more supreme or higher or transcendental than the Param Vijnanad. Whatever you know about the world, about the truth, whatever you know, all the dual knowledge which we gain from the world as well as from spirituality also, you can say. It is surpassing that also. Janatha. Janatha means, oh Shaunaka, you must know that. Janatha. Now here I said that always they will have some contradictory statements. On one hand he is saying Janatha, means you must know that. On the other hand he is saying Param Vijnanat Varishtham, Yad Varishtham. That means whatever can be known, it is transcending that also. Then what is the meaning of Janatha? That you have to know. That means you have to know the transcendental. You approach through the mind, approach through the intelligence, but finally you have to go beyond that. Yadarchimad yadanubhyo nucha. This is the second of this Mundaka. Yadarchimad yadanubhyo nucha. Yasmin loka nihita lokinascha. Tadetadaksharam brahma. Sa pranastaduvang manaha. Tadetat satyam. Tadamritam. Tadvedhavyam. Somya vidhi. Yadarchimad yadanubhyo nucha. Yasmin loka nihita lokinascha. Tadetadaksharam brahma. Sa pranastaduvang manaha. Tadetat satyam tadamritam. Tadvedhavyam somya vidhi. He uses that. Earlier sloka he said avihi means brilliance. There I corrected, brilliance does not mean physical light. It is the revealer. So again and again and again they will point out this. Because ultimately it is the revealer. It is revealing everything. It is revealing the external world, it is revealing the internal world, and finally it has to reveal itself. Because it cannot be revealed by anything else. If it is revealed by anything else, that anything else will be the truth. That is the revealer. This will not be the truth. So it has to be self-revealing. So it has to reveal itself. That is the only revealer. There is no other revealer. So again they are using Yad Archimat. That means again brilliant. That is the revealer. Which is the revealer. Yat Anubhyonucha. It is even smaller than the atoms. You can say smaller than the electron, proton, or smaller than the elementary particles. You can say even Higgs boson, smaller than the God particle also. It is not in the material sense of smaller than this or smaller than the intermediate. They are all objective. Even the God particle they are talking about, the Higgs boson, that is objective before us. It can never be the God we are talking about. Here it is the subjective level. Anu means it is subtler. It is subtler than anything objective, conceivable, subtle, because the subtlest in the objective level is also in this, is appearing in this. So it is subtler than anything objective subtlety we can think of. Transcendentality, you have to incorporate everywhere to understand this. It is not objective comparative analogy. But it is smaller than the smallest, at the same time, yasmin lokaha nihita lokinascha. All the words we can think of, the real or unreal, the 7 words we think of, heaven, hell, anything you think of, they are all in this. Not only that, all the residents, the denizens of these different worlds are also in this. So it is smaller even than the smallest, but the bigger than the biggest is also seated in it, is surrendered in it. Same thing again and again they will say. Tadetad aksharam brahma. That is the ultimate truth, Shaunaka, you are asking. It is the akshara, unchanging. Remaining unchanging, it is producing this changeful world. Sa pranaha tadu vangmanaha. It cannot be attained by the vak, by the words, it cannot be attained by the thoughts, it cannot be attained by the prana, but it is the source, it is the very vak, manaha, prana, everything is existing in it. It is the substratum of everything. That itself is the prana, that itself is the vak, that itself is the mana. Tadetat satyam, whatever satya we are thinking of, that it is. Tad amritam, the immortality speak about, that is also this. Tad vedhavyam, that has to be hit. They are talking now war language like Bhagavad Gita. That you are given a bow and an arrow and you have to hit the target. Somya viddhi. Oh, Shaunaka, Somya, you must hit that target. Then only your inquiry will be satiated. Your doubts will go. Dhanur grihitva upanishadam mahastram. Dhanur grihitva upanishadam mahastram. Sharam yupasa nishitam sandhayita. Ayamya tadbhavagatena cetasa. Lakshyam tadevaksharam somya viddhi. Next shloka. Pranavo dhanusharo hyatma. Brahmatal lakshyamujyate. Apramattena vedhavyam. Sharavattanmayo bhavet. Both to be studied together. Pranavo dhanush sharohi atma. Brahmatal lakshyam uchyate. The illustration they are taking, Pranavaha means the Omkara. In Kathopanishad, when Yamaraja starts the instruction, he tells Nachiketa that Sarve Vedayat Padam Amananti Tapamsi Sarvani Chayad Vadanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Mityetad. He says that all the Vedas they speak about what? Sarve Vedayat Padam Amananti. Tapamsi Sarvani Chayad Vadanti. All the various kinds of austerities we perform. Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti. For which we practice celibacy. Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi. I will tell you all that in essence. Because all this, the entire gamut of spirituality, the infinite number of practices, upasanas, pujas, rituals, what not, austerities, Everything is done with the sole aim. What is that? I will tell you in essence. Om Ityatat, he says. That is Om. That is, Om is the symbol of this Brahma Vidya. Everything is done in our country in the name of spirituality only to attain our real identity. It is not an attainment. We are that. We have to know that we are that. For that purpose, this whole huge spirituality has grown with various practices, various concepts and whatnot. That is the Brahma Vidya, the truth of our own identity. That is represented by Om. Now he says this Om is the Dhanush. It is the bow. Consider this Om as your bow. And Sharohi Atma, your being as the arrow. Your mind, intelligence, consciousness, the consciousness you feel, the attention, everything as your arrow. Brahmatal Lakshyam Uchyate. The target is the Brahman. That is, you are thinking the Atma to be small. That Atma has to become universal Brahman. Is there any doubt about it? So is it not this arrow, which is the Atma, has to get fixed to the Brahman in the target and become Brahman there. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So the target is to become Brahman, the universal, and you start with the small limited arrow. The arrow has to go to the target of Brahman and get fused into it. Is the allegory clear, illustration clear? Apramattena vedhavyam. Pramada means inattention. And apramattena means with acute attention. As in hitting the arrow, you have to be very attentive. Otherwise you will not be able to hit the bullseye. Here also what is needed is attention. Because why are we missing this revealer everywhere? Our focus is always on the revealed. That focus has to be changed from the infinite, variegated, revealed objects to the revealer one subject. You get the inner target. When we are hitting the target, there are so many objects. Discounting all of them, we have to hit the bullseye. Here also there are infinite variety of objects. Leaving all that, we have to hit the subject, the revealer of it. That is the Brahman, that is the target. And if you have to hit that with your own consciousness, by that what will happen? The arrow will get fixed in the bullseye. In this case, it will get merged in the bullseye, the Brahman. That Atma will become the Brahman there. After hitting it, Sharavat Tanmayo Bhavet. As the Shara, if it is hit rightly with power, then it goes and remains fixed there. It doesn't fall. You always say that, I felt that I have known the truth, but by the time I get out of the class, again everything is gone. That means although the arrow may hit the bullseye, it is not, it is falling down. So it has to go with enough strength and power and oneness, one-pointedness, so that it remains fixed there. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet. Go to the previous verse. What did he say? Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. This is the Upanishadam Mahastram. This Brahma Vidya has been discussed in our Upanishads. It is not there in other things. In a whole world, you will not get the concept of Brahman other than our Upanishads. So this Brahman, Atma, the practice is the Upanishad Brahma. Brahma is generally called, Brahman is called Upanishad Brahma. So Upanishadam Mahastram is the truth. Brahman represent in the Upanishad and Om represents that Pranava Dhanuhu. That bow is used as the Pranavaha, is used as a bow. Sharam hi upasa nishitam sandhayita. That you apply your shara, that is your own mind, intelligence, consciousness, being, your being. How should be the arrow? The arrow has to be very well sharpened. If it is a blunt arrow, it can never stick. Even if you throw it at the right point also, it will fall. It will not get into the target at all. How do you sharpen? Upasa nishitam. That means by upasana you have to sharpen it. Upasana means even meditation is upasana. By all your practice, by your study, rumination, contemplation, all rituals, whatever you are doing, you are only sharpening the arrow so that when it is hit, it sticks there. Whatever austerities we practice, whatever vows we practice, whatever rituals we do, They are all to sharpen the arrow. The arrow must get sharpened through all our practices. Sharam hi upasa nishitam sandhayita. You put that arrow on the bow. Ayamya tadbhavagatena chetasa. What do? We pull it to the maximum to our strength. How do you pull it here? Tadbhavagatena chetasa. By your mind, intelligence, chetana, you completely get overwhelmed with the bhava. Bhava of what? Of this truth. What we are reading what we are studying in the Upanishads. This universal identity we have, on which the whole universe is appearing to be. With that bhava, tad bhava gatena, you get completely lost, dissolved in that bhava. You forget about your small identity. Forget that I have to attain self-realization. Forget everything about your personality. There should not be anything other than the Brahma Vritti. Brahma Vritti means any thought, any modification in our mind. Brahma Vritti means the mind takes the shape of the Brahman, whatever we are studying. That transcendental concept gets completely fused in the mind, and the mind does not think of anything of the world also, including our own personality. Nothing it thinks of. That is the meaning of tad bhava gatena chetasa. The chetana should be completely tad bhava gatena, completely overwhelmed with the Brahma bhava. That is the Brahma Vritti alone will be there. Pull it to that extent. Lakshyam tadeva aksharam somya viddhi. Then you release the arrow and hit that akshara, that truth, the Brahma, which is the target, somya viddhi. Saying that, he said, pranavo dhanuhu sharohi atma brahmadal lakshyam uchyate apramattena vedhavyam. You have to hit it with no inattention. That pramada has to be eliminated. Otherwise, instead of hitting the Brahman, you will hit what? Fame, money, property, self-realization. Self-realization is also, you are aggrandizing yourself. Oh, I have become self-realized. That is also ego. That is also a desire. So instead of hitting the Brahman, you will hit some other desire point. That is the apramattata. Don't get confused about it. Don't lose attention on your real goal, and don't get attracted to anything else that is coming in. Any magic, any power, any superpower. Nothing should distract your mind from hitting the final goal. Apramattena vedhavyam sharavat tanmayo bhavet. As such a sharp arrow remains fixed in the target, get completely lost in the Brahman. Brahmavid brahmaiva bhavati. Become the Brahman. Om bhadram karnebhih shrunuyama devaha. Bhadram pashyemakshabhiryajatraha. Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih. Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. Swasti na indro vruddhashavaha. Swasti na pusha vishvavedaha. Swasti nastaksyorishtanemihi. Swasti no brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.